This video is about how to clean the Tappet oil screen on your Harley-Davidson Evolution Big Twin. I believe the shovel heads also have a Tappet screen that you have to clean, but I do not know how to clean it since I don't have a shovel head. Almost bought one, but I ended up getting this Evo FXR instead. Anyway, the Tappet oil screen is located down here, and it filters. It's basically just a little metal mesh screen, and it filters the oil before it gets to the tappets. Now if you don't clean it and it gets dirty and impedes the oil flow, then your hydraulic lifters could fail, which you don't want to happen. I haven't seen much mention of it on the internet. You know, people generally change the oil filter on the bottom, change the oil, but they don't ever talk about the Tappet oil screen, so I thought it was worthwhile to make a video to show you where it is and how it's done. Also, I've seen some forums where they say just unscrew the big screwdriver head bolt. But if you look here, there's one here, there's one here, and there's one here. So which one is it? It's the one that's furthest forward, right here, that you need to remove. And there's a spring in there, and inside the spring is the oil screen, which you'll see in a minute. So these are made of very soft metal, and they have screwdriver heads on them. You can see there's a giant slot in them, about the width of my finger. And the tool that you need to remove that, I also had trouble looking. I was looking up giant screwdriver, looking up screwdriver head socket, looking up all these words that I was just inventing in my head because I couldn't find the name of the actual tool. So what you're looking for is something called a drag link socket. This is it's basically a socket with a giant screwdriver head on it. I bought one on eBay for $4 plus $2 shipping. This one is an 11/16 inch one that measures the width. I ended up getting one that was too thick this way. So you might try buying a size smaller. What I did with this one was just grind the hell out of it, take about 1/16 of an inch off the side, and then it worked fine. So to remove it, I had to remove the air filter also because there just wasn't enough clearance for my socket. I think if you had the right size extender, then you wouldn't need to remove the air filter, but I did. I don't have that. So basically you put it in there, the slot in the giant screw, you unscrew it, and put this camera down. Raise it up. Hope you can hear me over all the little kids having a party across the street. It's summertime, they're all out in the yard riding around on bikes and stuff. Reminds me of when I was a kid. Okay, here we go. Noting, of course, that there's another one here that you don't need to mess with, and there's another one down here that you don't need to mess with. It's the furthest forward one right above this chrome cone cover. Obviously, I've loosened it up again. They tend to get pretty tight, and this metal is also very soft. So if you go trying to stick a screwdriver in there sideways, or you know, trying to convince it to come off with a tool that's not the right tool, you'll just ruin the thread, ruin the groove in it. They're really soft. I've heard of some people actually putting a bolt head one on there or an Allen head one on there to replace it, just because they're so delicate and kind of hard to get at with the drag link tool. So remove the top of it. And then, it's hard to see, but there's a little tab sticking up, which you can grab gently, because you don't want to mangle it, gently with a pair of pliers. We have a spring. So this is the spring. This holds the drag link, this spring holds the filter in place. So now I'm going to grab the filter itself, which, come on, focus, please. Doesn't want to focus. Should focus now, there we go. Which looks like that. So you just want to inspect it, see if there's any chunks in there. If there are big chunks of metal in there, you might have to look at your tappets, look at your lifters, and make sure that everything is cool. and there's nothing horribly wrong. What I would do then is just spray it out with some carburetor cleaner, and then soak it in, maybe spray it with WD-40 and then soak it in oil a couple times to make sure I get all the carb cleaner out of it, and then put it back in. Now I'm doing this with the bike full of oil, so I haven't drained the oil in order to do this. So if you do want to just take a look at yours, like let's say you've been changing the oil for thousands of miles and you have fresh oil in it, but you didn't know about the Tappet oil screen, you can go ahead and pop it out, clean it, put it back in without having to drain your oil. So I'm just going to put it back together and have a little peace of mind knowing that it's clean. This one was fortunately pretty clean. It's been a while since I've checked it, but it looks good.